How's it going, everybody? Chat about some fragrances to see how everybody's week went on. Did everybody have a happy Thanksgiving? Was everything a-okay for y'all? Y'all being safe? I know that y'all feeling good. So hopefully everybody knows. I think that y'all do know that I'm on here about 6 p.m. I've been getting on here just a tiny bit earlier, but hey, it's a Saturday. Hopefully that's okay. Anyways, nobody's here yet, but I did want to tell y'all that I did get my. Sorry, the dog was right there. That I got the Royal Knights by Dolce Gabbana. That's what I've been wanting for a super, super long time. I'll be getting that review out. I have a review of some interesting stuff. That's a review of some Portnikovs. And I have actually some Zerjoffs. If y'all really been wanting to see any reviews of, me actually review some Zerjoffs and actually see what the bottles look like, my dad actually got some of those, so I'll be able to review those and share some of those for y'all. Anyways, how was everybody's week? Anything new for y'all? Any fun new fragrances? Hey, bud. Hey there, Danielle. Centino. Happy to see you, my friend. How's life treating you? I hope that you're doing good. Is everybody staying safe? So I'm still smelling and trying out that Dolce Gabbana, the one Royal Knights, and I don't dislike it, but definitely had some mixed feelings about it. It's like hard to describe. I won't ruin the review, but it'll be interesting to give y'all my thoughts on that one. I have some things to say about that one. I don't think anybody said before. It's funny when you watch other people's fragrance reviews, and sometimes you think completely different than them, even a couple of people. So one of those fragrance reviews for me recently. Sorry, did I mess up the volume? I'm probably messing up the mic there, but sorry. Yep. Okay, I'm sorry. I fixed it. I knew I was gonna mess it up, but anyways. Insomnia. Everybody's saying that it didn't have any smell, didn't smell like ylang ylang at all, and the whole heart and the whole huge part of the fragrance is all about ylang ylang, and it does have some chocolate and it does have some vanilla and some sweetness. Insomnia does. It's a fragrance, kind of under the radar, kind of like an indie fragrance in a way. But and it is similar to Black Phantom. I think y'all saw my review. I did a review of that fragrance, but it's not a heavy, rich gourmand. It does have some sweetness and everything, but it's more of a dry, I mean smoky, almost dry, honestly, and floral fragrance. With some gourmand aspects to it. So background is pixelized. Is everything looking okay? High quality video and audio. I hope that everything looks good. I'm using it. I do need to get a better phone. It's been kind of used and abused. I've had it. This is probably the longest I've ever had a phone consistently. I usually use my phones pretty hard and run through the battery really quickly. But I've had it for 2 years or more now, so now it looks better. Hope that it does. Sorry, I was shaking a little bit. I'm in a rocking chair, so maybe that's messing up the visuals. Anyways, what's your scent of the day, everybody? How's life been treating you? Anything new? Anything new for y'all? So, anyways, it was really exciting for me to get my nose and actually hold the bottles on Bortnikovs. I've tried some samples before, but I actually haven't, actually held any bottles of Bortnikov. So that was exciting for me. This week I held and got to try some Zerzhovs and some Bortnikovs, and I haven't really done that before. So now it looks better. Happy to hear. Happy to see the volumes better. Hey there, Sabor80. How you doing? Ben Jammin. Absolutely, Ben Jam is in the house. That's actually one of the nicknames. I used to be called, my name's Benjamin, so I've been called Ben. Some people like to say Benjamin, and that's what I usually prefer, but I've been called Banjo. That's a funny one also. Red Baron says, Stronger With You Intensely is very nice gourmand boozy fragrance. Did you try it? Not yet, but I'm probably going to blind buy that one. I'm probably going to get that one over the Spice Bomb Extreme, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, those are some of the longest lasting, best performing fragrances for the cold. Stronger With You Intensely, Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme, and I really like the Paco Rabanne's Pure Excess Night. Those three are probably some of the longest lasting, most mass appealing fragrances for this cold weather season. At least I think most of us have gotten ourselves into. So those probably won't disappoint you. Hey there, E. Jean Baptiste. I'm wearing a Stimulant by Genre Parfum and the interpretation of Initio High Frequency. Okay. Is it great? Is it? I've heard a little bit about genre. I actually haven't bought any of them myself, but and I'm not against clones. But I just haven't gotten into those. Y'all know that I've spoken pretty highly about Alexandria here and there, and I like Zoha. They're another clone house, and I kind of like it if the clone house puts their own spin on the fragrance. So I don't like it when they're just trying to copy it exactly. They got to switch something up, put in some extra notes, put a little twist on it, and hopefully give us better performance. Hopefully, and yeah, clones aren't bad. Clones are not bad at all. Let's see. I find Pure Excess Night very similar to the OG version of John Paul Gaultier Ultramalt. I can see some similarities in how it feels. I feel like Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramall has a little bit more of a plum kind of vibe. It's a lot more fruity to my nose. I mean, I can definitely see similarities in how they feel, but Pure Excess Night is more full bodied. It's got myrrh, and so it's like calming and a little bit richer to my nose, and it has that playful ginger. I can see how they might feel similarly, but I kind of they're different fragrances. But I know what you're saying. They're both great. Ultramall won't disappoint you. I do feel like Ultramall. I think I forget who else said it, but I felt the same way. It almost has a little bit of that candle-like quality about it, almost like some of the Tiziana Terenzi fragrances do. And that's not a knock against it. Lots of people like it. It works for a lot of people, but I don't know. Do y'all get that kind of quality out of Ultramall? I don't know. I kind of do. But but that kind of almost lighter, it's kind of more wearable than I think people give credit for. Ultramall, I think it's a little bit more versatile than people give it credit for. Is it maybe office appropriate? Probably not, but it's not bad. It's Ultramall is pretty good, but it kind of has a reputation of being kind of like a party fragrance, and but I think you can do more with it than that. Hey there, Sabor 80. Scent of the day is Gucci Guilty Absolute. Great fragrance. Very, very masculine, polarizing. Some people really dislike it. I own a bottle. I really like it, but it definitely is more for when you want to feel masculine and macho, that's for sure. Wife loves it. Smells like burnt rubber. It does. It smells like gasoline and violet and petrol and almost. It has that quality about it. Yeah, but it does have this almost like burnt. Yeah, burnt plastic, burnt amber kind of quality about it. Alberto Marias made two others that smell exactly the same. Um, did he? And I don't know of a lot of things that smell exactly like Gucci Guilty Absolute. Which ones smell exactly the same? I mixed Ultramall with Koros 50/50. Ultramall overpowered the Koros. Yeah, Ultramall is pretty darn strong. And yeah, Koros is infamous for being strong too. But yeah, I don't know which one would win. But yeah, I guess the Ultramall won out, huh? Good for the office if you want to be sacked. That's right. Maybe put on one or two sprays. I don't know where you work. I mean, who knows? If maybe somebody works at a bar. If you work at a bar or I don't know, a more playful social situation, who knows? Maybe it can work for you. Again, a lot of people when they get think of a work fragrance, they think of like a suit and a white button-up shirt, and they think of the most professional situations, but there's all kinds of different situations people can work in. I mean, you could be a trucker and almost never see anybody. There's all kinds of different professions. So, but I know what you're saying. Randy says, scent of the day is Tartile Silver. I haven't tried that one yet. I need to try that one. Who makes that one? Remind me. That's not an arm off or anything, is it? I don't remember. Anyways, oh, Sabor 80 says Killian Dark Lord and one from the exclusive Gucci line, Alberto Maria's peddling this scent everywhere. You bring up a really interesting point. I mean, other reviewers have said it before. I can't take credit, but that some people have really said it, so I'm not trying to take credit for it. But some perfumers, they develop a DNA. They know they have a certain formula, a secret formula, and they know what works. And when they move from company to company, sometimes maybe the companies even want them to create their own version of that fragrance with their own aroma chemicals or their own licensed. They have their own top secret probably aroma chemicals they own, or maybe they're under they have the rights to them for 5 or 10 years, kind of like a license, and anyways, or a copyright. And they want, when Alberto Marias goes around, he spreads around his DNA of Aqua de Gio or whatever DNA he's working on, and some of the really big perfumers do tend to do that, and of course, we want more creativity. I like creativity and artisticness and all that, but that's what's going to make these people money. And that's why we see so many fragrances that follow the same trends in the designer game. When you go to your local mall, a lot of them smell very similar. Yeah, they're from different companies with a little their own personalities and style, but they kind of figure out the trends. They kind of try to figure out what people are buying, and that's just the name of the game. I wish it really wasn't that way, but I'm not trying to put down on Alberto. He's made some wonderful fragrances. Yeah, really has. Randy, Arabian Oud. Okay. Tartil Silver. I have to look into that one. Arabian Oud is a nice house. I recently got the Calamont Black. I do want to try more of them. I really wish they had samples. They told me that they're going to work on getting some samples so they can get the word out on their fragrances a little bit more because they look really good. They had a Black Friday sale and they had a bunch of them that were 50% off or even more, and I just didn't want to risk a complete blind buy on them, but maybe I should have. So, almost forgot Scent of the Night is Dior Homme Cologne, but best before sleep. I bet that, okay, I could see that as calming. It's kind of refreshing and kind of easygoing. Yeah, Dior Homme Cologne. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Anyways, I just got Lamal for the first time ever yesterday. I'm actually impressed. Weird. I just tried it after all this time. Hey, don't feel bad about that. And I've said it before. Every day somebody's trying a new fragrance and finding something for the first time. We as fragrance people who are really deep into the hobby can get snobbish. I mean, if we lose perspective, somebody every day is finding Sauvage. Somebody every day is trying a Ventus for the first time, and there's, we're, I think somewhere on the internet said that only 3% of the population actually regularly wears fragrances or owns like more than one fragrance. Something like that. It might have been 7% owns a fragrance and 3% wears a fragrance regularly. I forget. But anyways, there's 90% or more of people out there who don't smell fragrances, who don't know anything about fragrances. And I never want us to discourage other people. I want to get more people involved. We want to, build up the community and get more people involved in this beautiful hobby. Experiencing, a way to, enjoy the world and express their emotions and have fun with life. It's a great way to have fun. I'm not saying that necessarily everybody needs to get deep into artistic fragrances or have 100 fragrances, but I mean, it would be cool if a lot more people wore fragrances, had at least a couple. Let's see here, but yeah, Lamal's pretty nice. My favorite Lamal so far is probably the Le Parfum, the new version. That's probably my favorite one. I don't know if I've fallen in love with Jean Paul Gaultier. I have I'm kind of funny. I haven't really fallen in love with any Pradas so far. I haven't fallen in love with really any Killians. But we all have our different taste, but they're not bad. The Jean Paul Gaultier certainly is not bad, and the Navy actually is a really great mass appealing fragrance. I actually recommend that one, especially if you like those blue mass appealing fragrances. I actually gave that to my brother last year. He really likes it. Jean Paul Gaultier's in the Navy. That's their kind of attempt at probably more of a Sauvage like fragrance, and it works. It's pretty well done, and one of the best blue fragrances in my opinion. Again, in my opinion, the best blue, of course, is the classic, the original, the Bleu de Chanel. I like the EDP the best, but then I actually think that as far as mass appealing blue fragrances go, Invictus, Dylan Blue, and Jean Paul Gaultier's in the Navy are better than all the rest. In my humble, I mean, that's just my opinion. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of different types of those blue fragrances, but that's just my opinion. One guy's opinion. The new Le Mans. Okay, the Le Parfum. Yeah, the Le Parfum is actually quite good, and that's probably the best one out there in my opinion right now. I haven't tried the Aviator, and I think that there was like a one that maybe it was a different bottle. But it looked similar to Aviator. Maybe it came from a different country. I saw a bottle, and it kind of looked like the same thing, but I think it was a little bit different. Code Absolute is very, very sweet, almost off-putting. Oh yeah, it isn't that the one that's kind of like more of an amber color. I get all the Aqua Geo is kind of confused because they're putting out so many flankers, and I have again because of y'all know what's been going around in the world. I actually haven't been to a mall in a while, and it's kind of hard to keep perspective. But yeah, I think that's the Code Absolute that has that bubblegum almost Invictus vibe, and then it has this ambery quality about it. But yeah, it's not my thing, but it's a playful fragrance, and it seems to be really popular as a compliment getter, and the ladies seem to like it on the guys from what I hear. So, hey, if it works, it works. So, is Ultramall being discontinued? I don't know. I don't think it is, but keep an eye out. Well, again, it's not a surefire way to know for sure, but what I like to do is go to the website. If it's not available on the website, sometimes companies don't keep things up to date. So that's the first thing I do is look if it's on the original website if they're promoting it, and if it's not on the website, I go to try to see if it's in places like Ulta and Sephora and big box stores like Macy's and Dillard's and those kinds of places. And if the fragrance is not on the website, and if it's definitely not in Dillard's or Macy's or any of those big box stores, it's probably out the door. It's discontinued. And you know, so you kind of have to investigate a little bit. If a fragrance is at the discounters like Fragrance Net or Fragrance by CA or Notino or Max Aroma or anything like that, it doesn't necessarily mean it's discontinued. Things are overstocked, or distribute things, put things in certain countries or cities, and sometimes things sell really well and sometimes they don't, and they need to get rid of inventory. And a lot of the times that stuff is caused by regulation. After 6 months on the store shelf, they probably want to promote something new. Designer fragrances move very fast. They make new ones all the time, and they discontinue fragrances all the time. And also, government gets involved, and for some reason they don't want to sell anything that's been sitting there for more than 6 months. So anyways, no, it's spicy. Reminded me of Mobusin pour Homme. Okay. I'll have to double check on that. Red Baron says 3% of us are very special. Haha. Many people don't even wash them. It's true. Yeah, most people don't take care of themselves very well. I don't want to act like an elitist, but we are a pretty good smelling crew, and that's a good thing. So I'm definitely here for you. Actually, I have a grandpa, and he thought that the only reason people wore fragrance was to cover up your bad natural smell, and like if you wanted to smell better, I guess go if you want. I mean, he had the right idea of smelling better for like a special event, like a wedding or a party or something. But he thought the only reason wasn't actually to smell good; it was just to not smell bad, which is kind of a funny way to think about it. Connor Flores says, okay, Sabor. Yeah, well, I don't get the perfume, parfum. Oh, okay. You, so I'm not sure if you're trying the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, the original, or the one that's in the darker purple bottle, the parfum. What are your thoughts on Ojan? I need to revisit those ones. I've tried it. I had, and I've tried Carlisle, and I've tried most of the parfums de Marley's. I haven't tried. There's two Middle Eastern exclusives. Isn't one called like Nashin? There's like I've tried the Howdee. I think I might have tried the rose one, but there's one of the more Arabian parfums de Marley's I haven't tried. I haven't tried Dolina exclusive yet, and I think there's a couple of the female ones I haven't tried, but they're good fragrances. Parfums de Marley is a good house. Again, we often talk about Creed or Parfums de Marley or Killian, and these types of fragrances on our chat, or these brands, I guess I should say. But again, try to find a deal if you can. I'm always about saving some money. They're not bad fragrances. Find which one works for you, and I guess that's what really matters. I like the Leighton exclusive and Hobdon the best. I'm not head over heels in love with them. Would I like to have them in my collection? Yes. Do I have to have them? Not really, but they're good fragrances nonetheless. So, yeah, it is. Someone in the TLT group posted the email they got. Oh, okay, so Ultramall is being discontinued, as the rumor goes, or I guess it's confirmed rumor. Lots of people really like that as a party beast fragrance, so I guess get that one keep up on it, and definitely get your bottles while you can. That one's a pretty popular fragrance. I guess I wouldn't be amazed if that one gets pretty expensive too, and people are will be asking a lot of money for that one on eBay. So Daniel Hosier Amber Tobacco is much better than Ojon. Let's see, for the price and the quality and the scent. Yeah, Ombre Tobacco. I need to try that one again. I used to have a bottle, and I've tried Kaleidoscope from Daniel Hosier. I've heard really good things about the Ombre Tobacco. Yeah, I wouldn't be amazed, but I don't remember no I don't remember hearing that they're very similar to one another. But I do. I mean, but yeah, they're both good. Anyways, I'll have to try that more, that Daniel Hosier Ombre Tobacco, and see if they're very similar to one another. I don't remember hearing that, but thank you for mentioning that, Seabor. Red Baron said fragrance that you're talking about is Aqua de Gio Absolute. Code Absolute is, oh, you're talking about Code. Sorry, Code Absolute is better blended. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting the two mixed up. You're right. I was thinking of the Aqua de Gio, and you're talking about the Armani. Um, yeah, but I mean they're the same brand, Armani, but the Code Absolute. Okay. Uh, Anyways, so that's the one you like the best. That's the one you like the best. I had Ojan, traded it for a bottle of Zaharoff. No joke. That's funny. Well, the Ojan is a lot more expensive, I guess. But I guess if you got a bottle, a bigger bottle of the original Zaharoff, I guess it would be. It depends on how much was left in each bottle, but nice. That's kind of nice trade. Anyways, Zaharoff's pretty good stuff. I like the Noir probably the best out of all of them. But it's really, the Royale really is interesting. I think it'll grow on people as people give it more of a chance. The Royale's nice too, but I don't know. The Noir is probably my personal favorite from the Zaharoffs. I love Ojan. It smells so good. Yeah, I mean, Parfums de Marly is really popular for a reason. They're doing really well. Are they promoted pretty heavily by some people? Perhaps, but are they good fragrances? Yeah, they're bad. I've never tried to beat up on the house too much. I do think that Godolphin is inspired by Tuscan leather, which is a big negative for some people. Not terribly original, perhaps, and Herod inspired by Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, but are they good fragrances? Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Sorry, the dogs are acting up over there. But yeah, I'll have to double check that Ojan. I used to hear everybody talk about the Carlisle as their favorite. So sorry, I'm being distracted a lot over here. I like it better than Hobdon and Pegasus. I need to try the Pegasus exclusive. The Pegasus exclusive looks a lot better than the original to me. I don't know. Pegasus didn't work for me. Did y'all like it? To me, it was a little bit cold. It had some vanilla to it. It had some nuttiness, like an almond, and it was like a cold. It had like almost a metallic vibe about it. And it's not a bad fragrance, the original Pegasus, but for some reason, I don't know. I didn't dislike it, but I just didn't work for little old me. But Hobdon for some reason really works for me. It has more, a little bit of an Arabian vibe to it. It's not oody, it's not scary, but it has some. It's like a saffron. Has a darker, sweeter kind of aspect to it. So Ronald says, evening scent of the day is Dior Homme Intense. Great fragrance, very mass appealing. I've often said that that's probably one of the biggest compliment getters and one of the most seductive fragrances in the game. Dior Homme Intense, great one. Great choice. I really want to get a bottle of Dior Homme Parfum, but I mean, I didn't even really want to pay the $150 for it, but now it's even hard to get Dior Homme Parfum at all, and you have to pay like $250 for it. I just don't want to pay that kind of money. But it's, Dior's doing a pretty good thing, but y'all know that they have messed with their formula. The original Dior 2020 is really messed up, and I'm sure that y'all know all about that. So, anyways, it does smell good. Evening scent of the day. I read that. I found Ojan on eBay for 180. You're gonna get it. Well, yeah. Make sure it's a very reputable seller. Make sure they have like 99% or 100%. And eBay can be scary, but there are reputable sellers on there. Just make sure you're dealing with a credible person. But yeah, $180 is a pretty good price. Before all this scare and before all this funny, crazy business going on in the world, you used to be able to find things a little bit cheaper, $150 or so, but 180 is still a good price for Ojan. Let me know how it goes. Hermescence Ombre Narguilé is similar to Ojon also, but doesn't last very long. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've heard that before, but I've heard good things about that fragrance. I don't remember if I've tried that one. That's from their That's is that from an exclusive line? That makes me think of an exclusive line. It's not Lancome or anything like their exclusive fragrances, but I'll have to see. I'll have to look into that. Y'all are bringing up some things I've been thinking about for a while, but I don't know. It's not popping up to my mind. Seller has a good rep too. That's good to hear. Always, if you do mess with eBay, make sure they're very reputable because there is a lot of funny business going on. If you're buying very, very popular fragrances, especially Aventus, be prepared for somebody, cheating you. But be careful, and no, it won't be too much of a struggle. So let's see. Sorry, there's like in the distance, I can see like a little blue light reflecting off of something. So, what do you think of Grand Soir? It's a fine fragrance. It's probably, though a lot of people considered one of the best amber fragrances out there by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Grand Soir, a lot of people love it. A lot of people adore it. I need to get myself a big decant of it and see if I fall in love with it. I respect the House of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I don't know. Y'all know me. I tend to like denser, richer fragrances. Not everything has to be a gourmand, but I do tend to like those richer, heavier fragrances. It's just I don't know something that I'm attracted to. And Maison Francis Kurkdjian, a lot of their things are lighter feeling fragrances, like kind of some of them are playful, but they kind of do. They're not the same fragrance, but they play around kind of like Byredo does with light, playful fragrances, wearable fragrances, higher quality. Yeah, they're not boring, but I don't know. They're a little bit light for me. Performances with Pat. Happy to see you. So good to see you. How's life treating you? It's good to have you here. But Grand Soir is a nice one. If you do want an amber fragrance, that one's great. If you're looking for amber fragrances, one of my favorite ones that I've found is Oud Noir Vanilla from Bourdois, which is more of a vanilla, amber, and sensual kind of oud in the background kind of fragrance. That's probably my favorite fragrance with some amber to it. I've talked about a couple amber fragrances, but I don't know. For me, a fragrance that's just purely amber, I have to have something else going on with it. It's not that it's boring, but I have to, and it's not that it has to be sweet, but I like amber to play around with some other notes. For some reason, like if a fragrance is mostly tobacco or coffee, those kinds of things can work for me. But just amber alone, it's got to have something else going on. So. Anyways, Ultramall is being discontinued is surprising. Yeah, well, the thing is that we have to, as fragrance lovers and enthusiasts, we got to have perspective. So Ultramall is very popular in the YouTube fragrance world, and perhaps online it's pretty popular. But selling in stores, Ultramall, I guess, isn't selling too well. Honestly, it's not available at my local mall. It never was. I don't know where Ultramall was ever available, and I don't know if it ever sold that well, but it's terribly popular online and people buy lots of bottles, online, and the fragrance community loves it and adores it. But there's a whole different world. There's the consumers, the large the the majority of people buying fragrances are not on YouTube. The majority of people buying fragrances are probably are just doing their own thing, buying fragrances, and they don't, they're probably not even watching Jeremy Fragrance. Again, I'm not trying to beat up on him, but not everybody is on YouTube. But I don't know what percentage we are on YouTube of the fragrance community we are. But if you know about niche fragrances, if you're buying them, and if you know a lot about fragrances, and if you own more than 20 fragrances, you definitely are. We're definitely not in the minority, I guess you could say. But Red Baron says, I never heard your opinion on Dior Homme Parfum. It's a great fragrance. I really like it. Honestly, I usually struggle with Iris, but it has a lot more leather to it. And it has a little bit more of an intense intensity, almost like a little. It still has a lot of Iris, and for some people, might lean feminine, but Dior Homme Parfum has a lot more leather and kind of smells more masculine in a way. Fantastic fragrance, really respect it. Dior Homme Intense is, I mean, talking about the whole Dior Homme line, Dior Homme Intense is the most mass appealing. It is the biggest compliment getter out of all of them, and Dior Homme Intense is the one I probably recommend to most people, especially considering the ladies. If the ladies are interested in the fragrance, and if they want something that's they can share with their significant other, Dior Homme Intense is great. It's great for guys. It's great for gals. It's great for anybody. But Dior Homme, the original, it's a nice fragrance. It's kind of has I don't want to say it's not as maybe seductive as the others, but it's more playful in my opinion. But there's no doubt that I'm sure that a couple guys have gotten some remarks and it's worked magic for them. I think the Fragrance Apprentice really prefers the original Dior Homme, before the 2020 edition, and I think that's the Fragrance Apprentice's favorite out of the bunch, and it seems to work magic for him. I want a bottle of the parfum, but again, I don't even want to pay 150. I certainly don't want to pay 250. And it's kind of hard to get in the USA. So, a Patriot, happy to see you, my friend. How's it going? How's life? President, how's it going, Ben? Hey, Original Dog Man, how's life treating you? I'm doing pretty good over here. My scent of the day, if y'all are all curious, is the Dolce Gabbana, the Royal Night edition, and I'm getting my thoughts wrapped around it. I just got it really recently, and it's my scent of the day. So it's an interesting one. It's a lot different from what I expected. It's not what I expected, but I'll get my review out on it. There's only a handful, like 5 or so reviews of this fragrance. It's a Middle Eastern exclusive. I don't know really where they sold it, but it's not the easiest fragrance to get. You have to really buy it online. I doubt that you're going to see it at TJ Maxx or Ross or anything like that. And it's its own little creature. There's actually 2 Arabian flankers of Dolce Gabbana. There's this one, the one I got, the Royal Nights, and there's actually one called the Mysterious Nights, which is more of a rose fragrance. And some guys out there really like it. It does have I'm sure it has a sensuality all of its own. But the Royal Knights is its own interesting little creature. That's for sure. But happy to see Original Dogman. Super Fat Bass says, ordered Histoires 1725. I think that's the one called Casanova. Looking at Hubagant, Fougere Royale, and Fougere Nobile blind buys. You tried any of these, Ben? I've tried the 1725. I think that one's called the Casanova. It's a really, if you like Clary Sage, I think it's more of a geranium fragrance, but Clary Sage and geranium, depending on how they're used, kind of do a similar thing. I think if you really like geranium, you're really going to love 1725. It's a great classic masculine fragrance. I think it has some vanilla in the dry down, and it does end up being a little bit more seductive and charming than you would expect. So, good fragrance, really works. And the Hubagant Fougere Royale, my dad has a bottle of that. I do think it's a classy fragrance, and it's upscale, and it's one of the better oak moss fragrances on the market. But is it worth? I think it's like $300 for a bottle or more. I don't know if it's worth that. It has decent performance. It's like a 6-hour fragrance, but I don't know. It does smell classy. It does smell refined. It is a nice fragrance, but I don't know if I'd want to fork out $300 for for a Fougere Royale. But if you really like Fougères, it might be the fanciest and the cleanest and might be the best Fougere for you. But it's a little bit on the simple side. It's trying to be classy and fancy and timeless and elegant. That's what it's going for. So I know a lot of the guys who like Fougere fragrances like some of those spicier, deeper green, even some of those dirty aspects to fragrances. With some animalics or some really strong ambers and stuff like that hidden up in your Fougères. Fougere Royale is, on that clean side for sure. So Boar80 says, sup, John Broda. Hey, my friend, everybody saying hello. Everybody got some friendship in here. Duncan, hey, everybody, want to get my hands on Ashton's Cognac Cafe. That sounds nice. That does sound like a really good combination, and I like coffee fragrances too. I don't know when I'll buy that or when I'll get my hands onto that. Again, I'm trying to build up my little soap company. We'll see if I'm able to afford anything like that. Again, I've spent way too much recently, and I've kind of all spent it out. But I eventually sometimes figure out how to scrounge up a little bit of money and get something. But I sometimes you see these people do these haul videos and they're huge hauls, thousands of dollars, and I'm not saying I'm jealous. I'm just saying I can't do that, and I don't know if I'd want to. Got to pace things out a little bit, and I sometimes I feel guilty. I do too much blind buying, but hey, that's a part of the game. I guess that's what we do. I have 1725 and Duck de Vervins. Fougere Royale is very overrated. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Duck de Vervins is great. To me, the extreme is the better one. It's to me, it's far better than the regular version, and I actually got that from my dad for Christmas a couple years back. To me, it smells like a little bit like Dracar Noir and a very classy, timeless oak moss kind of feel. Very wearable, very versatile, and it's great for the money. You can get that one on sale for back in the day. I remember you could get it for about $60 or so. I don't know what it's going for right now, but I don't think it's terribly expensive. It's a great value. Fougere Royale, yeah, it's when people somebody sees Royale and some people see the bigger price tag, you do get what you pay for, but again, you get less and less the more you pay. So once you cross over certain thresholds, past $150, you start paying more for the naturals, and past $200, you're kind of paying for, is it really worth it? After more than 250 or $300, you're just paying for almost like bragging rights, or maybe super high concentrations of natural jasmines or roses or ambergris or stuff like that. It's in Fougere Royale, yeah, I think it costs too much for what it is. It's nice, but yeah, it's not. I don't think it's as good as some people hype it up. So Bore 80 says, yes, I am Duncan. Original Dogman says, a lot of these things are being discontinued. Yeah, you're right. A lot of things are being discontinued. And, it is a part of the fragrance game with designer fragrances. A lot of, they follow trends. They want to get people excited about the fragrances. And a lot of designer fragrances are made by algorithms. And they can quickly and easily make a new version. And that's why they make so many flankers. People get excited about the new version, and everybody talks about it. And then the popularity dies out, and they don't, and they can kind of rinse and repeat and keep doing that over and over and over. And another part of it is because with what's going on in the world, ingredients are getting more expensive. Maybe they want to keep things within a certain price, so maybe that's an aspect of it. And I think people are going less into malls. So maybe they're, cleaning up house. Maybe if something isn't selling really, really well, they might not keep it around. If something doesn't sell extremely well, they might get rid of it, or maybe the ingredients get a little bit too expensive or too hard to get. That's just the name of the game, and it's sad to say, but yeah. And a lot of people get really emotional and fall in love with their designer fragrances, but it's gonna happen. With your designer fragrances, they're not going to be around for very long. So I don't know if I want to suggest the idea as heavily as some people do, but if you really like a fragrance and you like how it's made, you don't want to worry about reformulations or discontinuation. If you truly want to wear something for the rest of your life and you find a good designer fragrance, buy yourself 2 or 3 bottles, and so you never have to actually worry about it. So, anyways, let's see. That Cognac Cafe does sound fire. It does sound good. It really does. Super Fat Bass says Duck de Vervins. I saw it going cheap. Any good? It's a good oak moss fragrance. If you do like fougere fragrances, it's quite nice. It has a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit of that rebellious vibe, almost like Dracar Noir has. Almost like a tiny bit of a dark patchouli, like a pinch of it stuck in there. It's a good fragrance. It's not. I don't. It's more of a classy fragrance. It's something you could go around and smell classy and kind of fancy, and it has a little bit of a, I don't want to say rebellious attitude, but there's something about it that's a little bit provocative. It's not the most seductive thing in the world, but it's a good fragrance. It really is. Same person made Black Phantom, made the Cognac Cafe, I believe. Okay, I haven't kept up to date with Ashton's fragrances. I think he's been talking about his releases and the work and the. Isn't his website already up? I'm sure he's got all that already going on. I don't remember who the perfumer is, honestly, but I'm sure he's going to do a good job. He said, I think I remember him saying he has full creative control. So he's going to put out whatever he thinks is the best quality for the best price, and he's not inside a contract where some company made a clone of something, and put something out that they're making a lot of money hand over fist. I think he's going to do us right, but I haven't smelled him yet. So, Adult Date Revenge is like Dracar Noir on steroids. Um, I kind of agree in the sense that I think it's a lot higher quality, and I think it has a lot more elegance to it. I don't I don't know if it's performs. They both perform pretty well, and I know that Dracar Noir probably has been reformulated a time or two, but both of them still perform pretty admirably. I didn't get crazy performance out of either of those, the new formulations of Ducar Noir or Doc Dave Revenge, even the extreme version. I got like 7, maybe 8 hours if I sprayed some on clothes, but that still gets you through, most of your day or most of your work day. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Hi, homies. Hey, my friend. Hey, Empty Sense. How's life treating you? Sup, Ron? Hey, everybody. Feels so empty without me. What's up, Empty? Oh, hey. Oh, okay. At first, I didn't know what you meant by that. Then, okay, it was talking about Empty Sense. Hey, Solano? How's life treating you, my friend? Any new fragrances for you? I know that you got a good nose, and you're always playing around with some good new fragrance. So, what you been trying, Solano? And y'all know about Solano, don't you? Y'all checked out his channel. He uploads from time to time, but he's a cool guy. Empty Sense says, "Hey John, hey Indy, but it shouldn't be acting up on me like this. I'm very sorry. I just got disconnected there for a second. I don't know what happened. So we're back. I actually had to press the connect button like 20 times for you guys. So we're back. Anyways, I don't want to spoil my review on Dolce Gabbana, the One Royal Night, but the One Royal Night is a decent fragrance. It's not. I wouldn't say it's terribly exciting. I'm not going to tell people to go out there and blind buy it or anything, but I'm not going to spoil my review. But I was I have some mixed feelings about it. I guess I'll say that. So you're on the right track, dog man. You're definitely on the right track. Empty Sin says, "Ouch! I got 1 million. Absolutely, it's a rose oud fragrance, so similar to many others, but it's a beast. New 1 million or something. I haven't tried a new 1 million by Paco Rabanne. I want to try it. I want to see what it's all about. I'll be confused about it a little bit and probably give it a mixed review.